Why, Jerome Powell? Why did you have to do it today? I thought I had 2 more days. I thought you were going to be like, no more rate cuts. I do not like rate cuts. And then all of a sudden you're like, dang it! I may be open to a rate cut. And you send Ethereum flying. Thought I had a couple more days. Oh, crap, we're live. Hey, everybody, Economic Ninja here. I'm totally serious. Ethereum is exploding in price. When I say exploding, I think it's currently up 12%. And it's exciting because it's causing other coins to take off rapidly. And if this holds tonight, you're going to see some other projects. I'll list one of them in a second. They're going to take them. Type 1 if you like making money. I know it's sort of a stupid question because there are actually people that would say, I don't like making money. That's not being humble. Yeah. Ethereum, and this is out of CNBC, has surged 15% today, rising as high as 48.85. Now, as of the making of this video, let me just check this out real quick. Live. We're live, right? Type 2 if you can appreciate the Ninja goes live. I don't need any scripts. It's 48.21. So going back to CNBC, they say here, this move comes during Jerome Powell's annual address at Jackson Hole, Wyoming, in which he indicated conditions may warrant interest rate cuts. Now, you all know what the Economic Ninja believes. The Ninja believes that once we start lowering rates too early, before there's enough of a crash, right? Before enough people have lost their credit score so they can't speculate in markets, if they lower rates too early, you're going to see a mini bout of hyperinflation. But that's going to hyperinflate all kinds of things, from real estate to cryptocurrency to gold and silver, okay? And the stock market. It's also going to inflate food, and that's the most important thing. Also in energy. It's very scary. But I'm going to show you how to make a crap ton of money from this. It says here, Ethereum or Ether has more than doubled over the past 2 months, outperforming Bitcoin over this period. That is because we have went from the Bitcoin hype phase to now the mainnet phases. But Ethereum always tends to hit before XRP, Solana, Cardano, and some others. So we are there. We are in the Ethereum hype phase, right? And I believe we have much, much higher to go. But what it's going to do is going to take specific projects like, I'll give you an example, Swell. Swell is an example. Check this out. It's like a micro cap. Let's pull it up really quick. What is the market cap of Swell? Oh, and real quick, tons of people have been asking me, when do I buy, when do I sell? I said we created a course for that. An entire course on how to build your own AI trading assistant that shows you when to buy, when to sell. It even can pull up recent news information, all that stuff. Dylan put this course together. It's incredible. I'll put a stupid sale link down below. That will save you a lot more time and money than the cost of the course. And then you can figure out all of your own sells, because I don't like to tell people when to sell. Swell. All right, check this out. Market caps, $28.28 million. I'd be surprised if this wasn't a $34 to $35 million market cap in the next couple of days, based specifically off what Ethereum is doing. And yes, I do own a little bit. But that's the thing. I wouldn't want to sell until it was higher, okay? Going back to CNBC, and this is very important because a lot of people don't understand how Powell influences these markets, and he hasn't lowered rates yet. I want to remind you, he just hinted towards something, and it was interesting that he hinted right at the resistance lines for both Bitcoin and Ethereum, and both of those shot up, all right? Now it says here, the price of Ether has smashed through its 2021 record on Friday after the Fed Chair Powell hinted at upcoming rate cuts. Don't you love that? Just hinting. Yeah, of course they're going to cut rates soon. And I'm not talking about next month. They could do it a year from now because the economy is crashing and the Fed always is late to the game on purpose because they want to be known as your financial savior. Type yes or no if you believe the Fed is your financial savior. And I'm not joking. This isn't a trick question. If I see a handful of yeses, I just want to kick you off the channel. I'm not joking because they're not. They are manipulators of money because they created fiat currency. I know I'm going to get a lot of crap for that in the comment section. So here we go. The second largest cryptocurrency surged 15% late Friday, rising as high as 48.85 and surpassing its November 2021 record of 48.66. Bitcoin rose 4% to 117 and change. The move came during Powell's address from Jackson Hole. I wanted to say Waxing Hole. Weird. Wyoming, with policy, he says here, this is his direct quote, with policy in restrictive territory, the baseline outlook and the shifting balance of risk may warrant adjusting our policy stance, said Powell. That's all you got out of him. That's why the markets are rallying. This is how fragile markets are. Now, what's interesting, Jody Alexander here, CEO at crypto trading firm Selene Capital, never heard of them, says traders have seemed to be caught off guard, completely offsides by Powell's dovish comments today. You know, that's not dovish. Anyone in their right mind thinking that that's dovish is an idiot. Type 10 if you agree with that. Of course, Powell, that's like, it's just called common sense. Let me read again. With policy in restrictive territory, meaning, this is very simple, that current interest rate policy is that we do not want to lower at the behest of the president and the public, especially professional traders of stocks, bonds, futures, any of that stuff. That's restrictive, right? They're not raising them. And he says here, the baseline outlook and the shifting balance of risks may warrant adjusting our policy stance. Well, no freaking duh. That's like an insurance person saying, do you know that like 99% of accidents happen within a 1 mile radius of your house? Well, I'll tell you what, let me throw out a little bit of logic your way. How many people have ever gotten in their car and said, hey, I'm going to hyper speed, or I'm going to jump in the air. I want to teletransport 1.1 miles from my house. I'm going to start my commute there. Meaning that no matter where you go, every single day of your life, you will be at some point every day within 1 mile of your home. But people, and so this is where these people like Jordy Alexander, some CEO of a, I don't know if you've ever been on LinkedIn, everyone's a CEO. Type 100 if you agree with that. Everyone's a CEO. It doesn't mean they make any money, doesn't mean that they're successful. Sitting there going, people are caught off guard by his dovish. They're not dovish. They're not dovish. Every single time the Federal Reserve, please hear me, has lowered rates is when things are bad. Bad. Very bad. Go to your favorite YouTuber, and if they don't understand that, check them in the comments section. I can't even speak. It's true. The Federal Reserve has never, ever, ever lowered rates when things are going good. It's when they're going bad. Now, I know it's weird because a lot of you are making money. Type 11 if you've been making money in the last 6 or 8 months from the crypto classes, from the trading groups, from just free picks on the channel, right? Type 11 if you've been doing that. And this is exactly what I've been referring to this entire time, where when you see bad things happening, there's always a way to make money. This is what most people in the world cannot fathom. But they're not disciplined enough to make big money. So How to Cook is asking me, should he buy Swell coin today? Well, I'm going to be honest with you. You probably should have bought it when the Staking Pro students bought it. Because today, right, like any second now, Dylan's about to release a lesson on how to stake it using liquid staking as the method of making money through the Swell network. But no, I wouldn't be surprised if you saw this. Let's see. What's it doing right now? Let's look right now. Live. Swell. What's the ticker? Ticker Swell. Let's refresh this. Right now, the market cap is 28.7 million. All right, let's Babe Ruth this. This is probably the easiest call ever. I wouldn't be surprised to see this at like a $34, $35 million market cap in the next 48 hours. And the reason why is because of what's happening with Ethereum. You see, as people get pumped on Ethereum today, they're going to rotate out of that and they're going to start finding different projects to get into. And there's a myriad of projects. Every one of you have been watching these projects go down. And I was hoping that a couple specific projects tanked 50%. And then when one of them went down like 40% as of yesterday or this morning, I'm like, yes, I'm almost ready to my buy point. And then it goes and springs back up because of what's going on with Ethereum. I don't like that. I guess in theory that caught me by surprise, but I have no emotion towards this stuff. I bought one the other day, 3 days ago. It was trending like crazy on CoinMarketCap. I bought it. I bought a pretty significant amount. And I said, I hope it crashes by 50%. That's my marker. That's my initial, that amount, whatever I bought, is my initial minimum purchase on my trading account. But I hope it crashes. You know, I'm going to throw this out there. Type yes or no if you think the average investor or trader thinks like that. I'm going to buy it hoping it crashes. I'm going to teach you something that I teach my students, and only about 40 to 60% of them listen to these lessons. Not joking. When you go into it with that and you buy a crypto, a stock, a bond off of fundamentals, whether it be geopolitical fundamentals, the actual company fundamentals, whatever. You buy it, you take your initial position, but you don't put all your money in and you go, I hope it goes down, because I've already done all the fundamental work. I've looked at technical analysis, but that's not right all the time, right? I hope it goes down because the fundamentals aren't going to change. I'm going to go buy more. But if I'm wrong about my thesis, then it's going to take off or it'll sit stagnant. But I entered, and then I decide what the price, based on what the price does, if I buy more or if I sell. Most people have no concept of this. They also don't know how to take profits. That's why Jose, I'm not going to give an update on it. I already did it with my trading group. It's enough. And if I say something, people are going to sell and crash it. No, screw it. I'll say it. I'm going to give you an update on that. Most people are bound by their emotions. Okay, XCN. Do you guys all remember when I said I would sell some at over 4? It was like 4.3, 4.6 cents. Ninja, turn your cell phone off. Because of the Justin Sun news. Does anyone remember that? Type yep if you remember that. At the very top, I said, I'm going to sell half of mine. Well, I didn't like that news. It was bearish. I also came out with some posts on X. Very few people follow me on X, and I'm always giving up real serious posts on X about crypto projects. I said, I don't like that the team hasn't doxed themselves. I don't like that the team is sitting behind a veil. I used to talk to them back and forth on DMs. They went totally silent. They won't be interviewed by me. And a couple people from that company, like, what makes you think we should interview him? Like, well, I thought last time I checked, the Ninja was really into crypto, let's say. And so I sold. I bought back at 0.008 cents, still up. On a percentage basis, pretty nicely for 6 months. I think a lot of stock traders would love to be up, what is that, 30%, if my numbers are right. But the thing is, they're just that project is stagnant. There's this wave system of a lifespan of the journey of a cryptocurrency or a blockchain company. And right now it's that stick poking moment where you see the stick figure going, come on, do something, because they're going to a mainnet. And they can put out all the good news they want. It ain't going anywhere. It's not my fault. On top of that, you've got probably about 4.5 million. Let me check live right now how many shares we've got people trying to sell XCN. And this is what I teach my students, but I show them like screens and all that stuff, really important things. Let's do this real quick. Let's blow this thing out. I'm going to look at all of the trading right now, just on, let's pull up Coinbase. In order to get the price of XCN to go back to its all-time high, this is going to blow your mind. Let's say close to 5 cents. There's $13.5 million in sell orders. So what do you think it's going to do? There's a massive sell wall. People that would be called bag holders, I don't like to call people that, but they have put in sell orders, and you would need to produce $13.5 million worth of buys to just eat that up. And to be honest with you, because of another cryptocurrency exchange I told you about, there's a bunch of hidden cells in there as well. Only certain people can see. Sorry, how to cook. I don't know what that means. But I hope that answers your question. Guys, does this make sense to you? Type 12 if it makes sense to you. I need like some feedback. Type 13 if you're like, no, Ninja, you make no sense. My favorite YouTuber told me you're wrong. And that happens a lot. But no, type 12 if this makes sense to you. That's why XCN is not moving. That's why specific projects can't move unless like there is so much buy pressure, it just massively moves. And do I still hold XCN? I do. I still got about 45 to 50% of my original investment in XCN. There's a lot of projects I've talked about, but I don't talk about them here. No, you got the same problem with that project, Raka. My point being is that a lot of these have sell walls because of what happened during the pump in January and February. That's where you sort of move on to the next one. And I think that's really important for people to hear, but most people won't spend money on education, and that's why they just flounder. And I mean, hey, sorry, it's just the truth. I'm trying to find one last little bit of info for you, but can everyone type in real quick? If you guys own Swell, type it down below. I'm curious. SWELL. I'm not telling you to go out and race out and buy it, okay? I'm not telling you it's the best thing since sliced bread. But I'm telling you on these micro caps, which 28 million to me is a micro cap, I think you're going to see these things jump exponentially as people rotate out of Ethereum into other projects, especially ERC20 tokens or tokens that are on the base network. All right, I think I've talked enough. Sorry for all that. If you guys want the AI Trader Pro, you want to learn how to buy and layer in buys, layer in sells, you build your own trading assistant for crypto, it is a game changer. A lot of my students have taken it. They've told me all this cool stuff. You build your own AI bot to tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to layer in, when to layer out. It's insane. It also brings you really cool news about these projects. It's incredible. And you can do it all at your own time, at your own computer, whenever you want. Links down below to that course. It's a blowout price. I think you'll like it. With that being said, the Economic Ninja is out.